Anthem 51, Childing of a Maiden Bright. Welcome to Anthem 51 in my attempt to write a new choir anthem every week for a year. I'm Kevin Mulrine, and I hope you'll enjoy listening to my progress throughout 2024. Please do visit the website, anthem52.com, follow along on X or Instagram at realanthem52, and send me a message to show@anthem52.com. This week I was still on the search for more unusual Christmas carol words. After quite a bit of unsuccessful browsing, I found an order of service for King's College Chapel way back in 1918. It's fascinating to see what has changed and what hasn't since then. One of the most interesting sets of words was for a carol I had never come across before, Childing of a Maiden Bright. From the 15th century, the words are suitably archaic in places, and each verse ends with a different Latin phrase. As we know, not a unique characteristic, but one I like. The words are a little unusual in that they mention flocks of fiends rather than sheep, and a few other odd ideas. Again, I found these words intriguing and fun to set. Here are the words I chose. Childing of a maiden bright, life today hath brought to light, and hath put that prince of might with his flock of fiends to fight. Christus, natus, hodie. Whoso aught hath done amiss, and it rue him sore for this. Mary's babe will shrieve, whiz, gentle as a lamb he is, miserere domine. He at Bethlehem was born, Salem gave him a crown of thorn, life of want and death of scorn, all for love of man forlorn. Ergo, benedicite. On this infant may we call, born for man in oxen's stall, he vouchsafe us bliss withal, in his everlasting hall. Cum Maria Virgine. I decided to make this carol accessible in terms of both performance and hopefully listening experience as well. So the pattern is fairly predictable, beginning with a soprano solo of the tune, followed by an SATB rendition of the refrain, with the first Latin expression, Christus natus hodie. This is followed by verse 2 featuring tenors accompanied by held shifting notes on the organ. The Latin phrase uses exactly the same refrain music as verse 1. For a bit of variety, a darker sounding third verse reflects the words, Salem gave him crown of thorns, as tenors and basses repeat a mournful melody. There's a rallentando at the end of the verse, not particularly well represented in the electronic version, and then that now familiar refrain returns. Verse 4 takes a brighter turn with semiquavers in the organ accompaniment. The whole verse is repeated and elaborated slightly between all voice parts. Finally, the opening material reappears for unaccompanied choir, and the end of the anthem is extended a little. Anyway, see what you think. Well, what do you think? Let me know on x.com or Instagram at realanthem52, as a comment on the show notes, or via email. I hope you'll join me next week for a new episode and a new anthem. There's only one to go. But until then, the question remains, will I make it to Anthem 52?